There are some people in New York, they're pretty upset tonight. The city panel voted to reject landmark status for a building near the World Trade Center site, paving the way for construction of a mosque, an Islamic community center. Opponents of the project, including 9/11 first responders and family members of the victims of the September 11th terror attacks, believe the location is insensitive. Joining us, a man who always puts in his 2 cents, Cameron Turner. Hey, Cameron.
Hey, Fred. Good to be back with you.
All right. Now, this is a hot-button issue, but the mayor of New York thinks it's okay to build the mosque. What do you think?
Well, there's no legitimate reason for opposing this. The groups of individuals and organizations, the people who have come out in opposition to this, really, there's no valid reason to do it. What we're seeing here, tragically, is a lot of anti-Muslim bigotry, quite frankly, anti-Islamic fear and anger. What we have here is a group that is putting together an interfaith cultural center, which will be a place where people of all religions can come together. And it will house a mosque where people of the Islamic faith will come and worship. But there's nothing pro-terrorist about this. And it's just a tragedy how all across this country since September 11th, we have seen the demonization of one of the world's great religions. People continue to make the mistake in thinking that the original religion of Islam was responsible for the terrorist attacks on September 11th. Indeed, those attacks were carried out by criminals who have twisted and misinterpreted Islam. Real quickly, Fred, not all of the families of September 11th victims are opposing this project. Donna Marshall-Connor is spokesperson for September 11th Families for Peaceful Tomorrows. She lost a daughter in the September 11th attacks. And back in May, when this Cordoba House project was announced, her group issued a statement saying that we believe that welcoming this center, which is intended to promote interfaith tolerance and respect, is consistent with the fundamental American values of freedom and justice for all. Ms. O'Connor went on to say personally, and this is her words now, that this project does honor to my daughter, that in this place of hell on earth, a place for peace and love will be established. I hope that cooler heads will prevail, people will put bigotry aside, and let us remember the United States Constitution. For Newt Gingrich and Sarah Palin and other political leaders to come out and say that this mosque and others should not be built, well, that just flies in the face of our constitutional protection for freedom of religion. This is a beautiful statement that will be made to the world, and we can all come together around it, and that is what I hope will happen in New York, as well as what I hope will happen here in Temecula, California, where a mosque is being built in the face of some opposition.
And again, in Temecula, there are people concerned about that going up right there. It's the same thing in your mind, isn't it?
Well, as I say, the fact that this project, Cordoba House, is being planned for a site that's near Ground Zero, the Ground Zero location is irrelevant. Rick Lazio, who is, of course, running, he's a Republican running for governor in that state. He says, it's not about religion. It's about the fact that it's being built at Ground Zero. And it's about the fact that this organization is headed by an imam who has associated himself with radical ideas. I don't even think that's true. Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf, who is one of the clerics behind this project, I don't know that there's any evidence that he or anyone else is associated with terrorist organizations or radical ideology. If Rick Lazio or Newt Gingrich or anybody else has proof of that, they should bring it forward.
10 seconds,
there is no such
Cameron.
evidence.
10 seconds. That it? You good?
It's a beautiful...
Go ahead. 10 seconds. Go ahead.
This is a beautiful project. Religious tolerance is one of the things that makes us great. Islam is one of the great religions of the world. There is nothing about this project that is a tribute to terrorists. The people, quite frankly, who have been protesting this ought to be ashamed of themselves because their radical and just insane protests bring shame to themselves, to the United States, and to the traditions not only of the Constitution, but of our Judeo-Christian heritage here in this United States.
All right, Cameron. Good job. Thanks for tonight. I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having me.